Welcome back, everyone. Going into part 2 here of episode 64 of Roleplay Court of Swords. We've got some jumps to make.
Yeah. Anyone who wants to attempt to jump across the alley, because everyone has the running ability and the distance to do so, you can make an athletics check to clear the window, to like land on the other side. I assume since it was your plan, Kalimite, you're going to do it first.
Yep, and I'm going to take out a rope and tie a quick knot around me and the girl.
Right, to just like tie her to you.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
And then
she's babbling in fear and confusion. She's probably asking you like, "What are you doing? Who are these people? What's happening? What's going on?"
Drop her in the alley.
Can't tell her to close her eyes or anything.
Right.
So I'm just gonna go. So, and you said athletics with advantage because of the boots.
Yeah, the boots will give you advantage. As you start running, her babbling becomes a low sound that becomes a scream as she realizes you're going to try to jump out the window.
Yeah.
And she's like clinging to you, just like, and this isn't a I'm seeing something terrified, but a like roller coaster like scream, like oh god, something scary is happening.
Yep.
And yeah, so she starts to shout. You run. You kick off of the lip of this little window. You like crouch down and like launch across the alley. Go ahead and make that athletics check. You have advantage.
Double ones. Here it comes. Oh,
credit. There you go.
Advantage.
You thread the needle. So we see this from the point of view first as like a bunch of different like very fast jump cuts from the kid on your back and you. Then you run. We see your boots thump 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 on the floor. We see the window. There's that shot that makes it look like maybe you're too big to fit through the window, and then you launch over. We see you from underneath, the guards looking up as you go over their head, and then just into the other window. Nothing but net, and you land, skid to a stop in a hallway on the other side. And she's still shrieking a little bit, and then she runs out of air, and then opens her eyes and looks around and realizes where she is. That like you didn't like crash land, nobody died, and she's just like breathing hard. What is everybody else doing?
Well, Berg, you have disadvantage on this, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he also has the biggest bonus.
Okay. Who wants to go
I'm
next?
gonna heal myself a little bit first.
I'm considering using the potion of gaseous form.
And what, just fucking scrying off into the night? What?
I don't know exactly. So tell me exactly how that works. Like,
how does that work?
Okay, so hang on. I gotta track time because as soon as the grease spell is gone, they're gonna rush up the stairs. So you had essentially 30 seconds. You had like 5 rounds. That was 2 rounds ago. So there's exactly enough time for everyone to run and jump out the window. If you're Ramus, if you're going last, that means you have 2 turns before your jump. But basically, I just want to go through these one turn at a time. So. Turn 1, or I guess turn 3 of as we count down the last 18 seconds. Berg, you want to know, or Max, you want to know what drinking the potion would do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the potion of gaseous form. There you go.
Put it in the chat.
Matt's got it. Thank you. So it transforms you, the drinker of the potion, along with everything else, into a cloud of mist. And you can move 10 feet by flying. You can enter and occupy other spaces. You have resistance to damage, et cetera, et cetera. So you can kind of like drift through places. They probably won't even notice you. Probably run through you when they come up.
It's not a bad idea, Max. I would do it.
Yeah.
It lasts up to an hour.
Wow. That's a long time. You can't, once you drink it, you can't like just like stop it, right?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it lasts up to an hour. So anytime you want, you can you can return the normal form.
Let's do it. Gaseous form.
All right. GassyMexican in name only, no longer.
I see.
I mean, I wasn't going to use it, but then the girl was safe, so I used it.
Yeah. So you pop the bottle and you drink it, and Sully, you see Berg just like turn to smoke. And like and you're especially hidden because of the fog cloud that's like drifting up the stairs, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, you just become mist.
Gassy
It's a very strange experience. Yeah, you are aware of and able to perceive everything around you, though your eyes are gas. and spread out over a whole cloud. You
Very
can feel
nice.
everything the cloud touches. It's a very strange way to be. But you're a cloud now, so good job. All right, so that's what you're doing. Sully, what are you doing on this turn? Somebody's got to jump this turn. Or I guess you could wait one turn and then you each jump on them.
I guess I'm jumping.
Okay, all right.
Trying to see if there's...
I mean-
if someone has to jump, I guess Ramus already healed, so that's his turn. I'm the only one that has an action left, right?
Hmm.
Trying to see if there's...
Yeah, I guess.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I guess you would have to do it since we both did something.
If y'all have inspiration, you might use it now.
Okay, so Ramus, you're praying for healing, so you heal yourself
Yeah.
For 9 this turn. Yep.
When was the last time we had a rest? Was that at the beginning of the very day when we fought outside? Fought the stone
Before we
golem?
came into the city.
Before you, before you came in the city.
It's been hell.
Yeah, that's very true.
I'm gonna roll this too, just because I'm curious. Good call, Max.
Good call in the potion.
Good call.
Yep.
Holy fuck.
I'm trying to recall if I used Arcane Recovery. And
You used it during the
You
live
did.
show. I remember you telling me I'm using Arcane Recovery during the show.
and we never
Yeah, we
rested
short
after
rested.
that?
We short rested and you used it then.
Okay. Yeah, it only comes back on a long rest. Right? Let me look.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'm making
Now-
this roll. What is
I've
it?
just honestly, I've been saving all the dual class shit because I'm waiting until I get an instrument and get story wise a reason to have spells and whatnot, blah blah blah. But as far as bardic inspiration goes, I
Yep.
wasn't sure. I honestly, in my heart of hearts, I was like, I don't think so yet, but maybe yes.
Maybe this is where it happens. Maybe you're screaming so loud at me that it just kicks in or something.
So bardic inspiration. For folks who might not know what it does, let's double check.
Yeah, can you paste
Obviously,
it?
I know what it does. I'm not looking it up for any reason. It's for you. I'm helping you.
Zeke, can you paste the
so
text?
No,
or no?
I'm looking at it right here.
Yeah, paste it.
It's
so
a
we can see it.
D6. It adds a D6 to any ability check, attack roll, or saving throw that you make. So that's definitely a thing you can do. You can give one person bardic inspiration.
Before
Actually,
or
you
after?
could give both. If you stand by the window and you're just like, come on, you can use that feature twice, right? You could use it once per point of your charisma modifier. So you could give it to Sully and Ramus.
Is it
You
before
just
or
have to use
after the
two
roll?
uses. After the roll. You make the roll first and then he can choose.
All right. Well, I'll
Yep.
use my inspiration and make a jump for it. It's athletics, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
All
It is
right.
an athletics check, DC 10.
DC 10. Here's the roll with advantage from inspiration.
No, you add the D6 to the dice now.
Yeah, now you add the D6.
Well, I mean, I
You're
So I'm
flying.
sending across. You saw me fly through that with the child on my back. No fucking problem. I turn around and I give you a little flourish, and then I look at you and I say, "No problems. Let's go. Come on, you big turtle. Let's get over here. Come on."
yeah, I make it.
I'm gonna
9 and a 2. Jesus.
You absolutely would
Christ.
not have made it if
Yeah, I
it weren't for
wouldn't.
Kalimat.
I don't think I've made it, and then I realize that I'm not falling. My eyes are closed,
you're
and
like-
I'm standing there. I'm just I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. And then Kalimat literally grabs me as I'm falling backwards because my shell's so heavy, and he pulls me across.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I dig it.
And then I want to turn. They're not upstairs, right?
There, no, the
Because the spell hasn't ended.
Yeah, so that was one. So there's 2 more. Yeah, 2 more rounds.
Okay.
before the grease is
Next
done.
round, I'll make another move.
Okay.
And then that's it. I don't do anything else.
Okay. All right. So, Ramus, you are the only one left. You want to try to make the jump?
Yes. And I have bardic inspiration, right?
That's up to Zeke.
Oh yeah. No.
Okay.
And then because I'm using Sully Hoffa as the example. Now it's you saw him get his big turtle ass over here. Now it's your turn, Ramus.
I
Or actually-
believe, Callie. I believe. I'm gonna use inspiration as well.
I love that you're
Actually-
like, for Sully, you're like, come on, buddy, you can do it. But for Ramus, you're suddenly like the fucking drill sergeant from
Yeah.
Full Metal Jacket.
Get over here, you stupid
yeah,
fucking
dude.
asshole.
What is your major malfunction, Ramus?
Yeah.
Different people respond to different
Oh,
things.
okay, he doesn't need it.
Nailed it.
Okay. So you run, clunk, 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 armor going, and then leap across to the other side. You have exactly 6 seconds before they run up the stairs into the room you were in.
I will.
So you have, what are you doing? Because you said you were going to go somewhere on that.
Yes, I want to do something. There's nothing. I don't see any of them in the alley or anything below us. If I just look, do I need? Is that a roll or can I just look?
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 of them. There's 2 of them in the alley. Yep.
Do they see what we're doing?
Yeah, they watch you all like jump across.
Okay, well then I'm not making illusion. I will cast Firebolt as a cantrip into the room. Like I'm just gonna light the fucking building on fire.
Okay. So you're just gonna like hurl a firebolt like
Yeah,
at the.
I
other
get
building?
really angry and 2 firebolts shoot out of my eyes.
Don't you light that gas cloud on fire?
Well, you gotta get the fuck out of there.
Unfortunately,
You gotta get the fuck out of there.
unfortunately, in gaseous form, you're a cloud of helium.
Yeah.
You're a cloud of hydrogen. The whole building just blows.
Yeah, it's
Wait, you're just chilling in there? You're not just
the
flying over to us?
humanity.
No, I flew over.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Berg's with us. Yeah, Berg's
Yeah,
no
I'm not
longer
just
in
chilling.
there. Yeah.
I would have flown
Okay,
over.
so I mean, you move at 10, like it takes you a full round to just like drift
I'm like-
across.
It just sounds like a fart just kind of wafting by us.
Okay,
Where's-
so you're on the other side. You fire your firebolts into the building and you hit the wall, and the wall starts to burn. I mean, it'll take some time. Like it's not
Yeah,
like
I'm
fireball.
not
The wall,
the
building will burn down eventually.
If anything, it's a deterrent. Hopefully.
Yes. Yeah. So there's shouting from the alley where they're like, they've jumped across. They're this way. And the guys that run up the stairs, they run into the room, and the room is burning. They look over the edge, and we catch that conversation, right? The first guy upstairs pops his head over and he looks down, and the guy in the alley is like, that one, they jumped into that window. And then everybody starts, they like start running out of the building. Yeah, it starts to burn. So where are y'all going?
Now we're on the top of a building or inside of a building in a window.
You're inside a building. Yeah, you've just jumped across an alley into another, like an apartment or a little like house.
God damn, dude. The other fucking gifts, dude.
So what do
2
you
in
do?
a row.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I was going for.
Fucking nailed them.
Listen, I'm never more than a few seconds away from the perfect Gamera gif.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
no shit,
considered
right?
it a challenge. I listen to what you say you're doing, and I find a Gamera gif for it. It's all good. Part of the
I
live
like that you
experience
say
here on Roleplay
Gamera.
Court of Swords. Yeah, Gamera. That's his name.
Let's gamera.
I mean,
Oh,
I guess
God.
so. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Gamera. Anyway, so
Sorry.
you shoot the building starts to burn, and they now have to rush out. The guys in the alley are rushing around looking for another way in to chase you. You've got a bit of a lead on them now. What's the plan?
I look around and
Guess
say,
try to get to the roof.
yeah, we can do that. That's probably a better plan than trying to cast Tiny Hut here for 10 minutes.
Yes, yeah, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we try to get up to
All right,
the
so you
roof.
want to try to get to the roof? Okay. I think that's fine. I think you have enough time to get to the roof. They get into the bottom of the building as you reach the roof. So you get up there, and it's on the like 6th or 7th floor. This area is quite tall. A lot of buildings crammed in. Who's first? Calumet, you're leading the way, or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So bang, you kick open a door, rush out onto the roof into the stale air. The sun has risen enough over the horizon now that it's casting this like lateral light right into your eyes. Long shadows up on the rooftop, drifting ash in the air, and in front of you, the building you were just in is now starting to like burn. The lower windows are spitting flame. We cut to a quick shot of the little family, the Stone family shrine, and the idol's little like cloth bib thing was wearing is like crisping and burning. We see the kitchen, like the floorboards break and start to burn, and it's throwing smoke up into the air. What do you do? Where are you going? What's happening?
Are there buildings?
there-
I'm
is there
gas.
any-
Oh, we all have so many questions. Okay.
I know everybody's just like ready to go.
Berg said he's gas. Calumet,
Yep.
what are you saying?
Is there any sort of landmark that I can point to that we can move, at least just a direction we can move towards?
I mean, where? Like, yes.
Like a bell tower, a fucking anything. Just some place where we can regroup.
I mean, this is it, right? Like you're up on the rooftops, and lots of these roofs are connected by like not officially like bridges, but people have laid planks down to move to go visit their neighbors across the roof.
Okay. Well, then, if we're just running on rooftops and there's not going to be any checks to like jump between them, and there's multiple ways that we can walk on these rooftops, I'll cast Minor Illusion and basically mimic the entire group with Malleable Illusions, which changes the nature of the illusion to look like we're just going all different ways on these rooftops to try to throw them off.
So you can only create one illusion. You can't create like 10 illusions of all of you running in different directions.
Then I'll just make like an illusion of me.
So with minor illusion, you can create sound and image because you're an illusionist.
Yes.
Sound and image of an object, and that object can be like one of you.
Right. Did they see any of us? I guess they saw all of us, right?
No, they have never actually seen any of you because they came inside, and by then Calumet was upstairs. There was the fog cloud. You all stayed out of sight. They saw briefly. They saw you jumping over the thing, but that's not like.
Okay, then I will just
that's
make.
not really enough.
I'll just make humanoids, not necessarily us, or a humanoid, not necessarily us, just running the opposite direction of us. If we're going south, it'll go north.
Okay.
And I can paste whichever spells you'd like, unless you're looking at them.
I mean, you're just casting minor illusion, right? You
Yeah,
don't have another
yeah.
illusion
With
spell,
malleable
because-
illusions that can change like the nature of that. So
Yeah, basically what it means is that you can.
does that mean I could make
Like
it look
if-
like me walking across one rooftop, and then when it gets to that rooftop, it can look like someone else going to another rooftop?
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly
so you
what
could
I'll
create
do
an
then.
illusion.
Yeah.
You could create an illusion that starts looking like a monkey and then turns into an eagle and then flies up in the air and then turns into a whale that swims away. Like you can change it as it continues.
Yeah.
Provided
So
you can still see it.
every time that it gets to a new rooftop, it looks like a different humanoid figure kind of running.
Okay.
And we'll just run the
Sure.
opposite direction.
Okay. All right. So you run upstairs and then just pick a random direction, or which way do you want to go?
I want to go towards the center of the town, or center
like
of the
up-
city of Brass.
Upper district?
Yep.
Can we see the tower temple from where we are?
No. You could get a pretty good idea of where the temple like district is because it's always in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you could head towards that. That's where the tower is. It's in that like Plaza of the Gods. or
That's
whatever.
where we'll definitely head.
Yeah.
All right. So you dash off in that direction, and the illusion runs off another way, and yeah, the door bangs open, and the guards come running up. You're about 100 feet away by now, and
Is there any way that we
Look-
can remove the path as we go? Like
Pick up planks or something.
are these
Just-
boards like nailed down?
oh no, you could totally just like kick them off the building.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make it easier for them to follow. Or I actually suggest that to somebody since I've got the girl on my back. But I suggest like let's kick the planks behind us before we go or as we go.
Yeah, if prestidigitation won't be able to move them off, I will just firebolt the planks.
Okay.
They're
Yeah,
fucking-
I mean, I think like prestidigitation isn't really enough to do like mage hand would be.
Yeah, I got rid of Mage Hand.
Yeah, so you just have to kick them like as you run. The last person across can just kick it into the street.
Great.
Okay, all right. So you start making your way across the roof. They run up out on the roof, run to the edge. They see that there's like a gap. I think probably the first one to it is going to be brave and try to like run and jump the gap. So I'll make a check for him.
Mind the gap.
Yeah, he's okay. He got it. So the others give chase in the same way. So let's see.
Ooh.
Jesus. All but
Okay.
all but
so
two.
you lose 2 of them from
On the first jump?
flank kicking. Well, not even the first jump, because we're
Okay,
not going
just
to
in
count
general.
every
Sure.
single jump. But this is like that's the strategy, right? So, yeah, 4 of them continue after you. 2 of them, like one jumps after his friend, hits the side, and like falls into the alley. Another one misses and like smashes through a window down below. Yeah, there are 4 of them, and they're still giving chase. The woman, she comes out, and she's just like watching. Like she just stands on the other building watching. But these other 4 are still chasing you. You're gonna have to find another way to lose them. What do you want to do?
She's too cool to do physical labor and try to give
she's not
chase.
gonna
She's just
How-
that. She's like, I'm gonna get you.
You said we
I'm
had
gonna-
you said we had 100 feet on them. How far behind them, or how far behind us are they now?
The same.
Okay.
Yeah, they're like
Okay.
two rounds, like 120 feet, give or
If-
take.
Can I cast grease on one of the building jumps to make them make another check or something?
Yeah. I'm also gonna cast fireball at them since it's 150 feet range.
Okay, or we could do that.
Sure. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Roll damage and all.
sure, yeah.
So yeah, you turn around and just like
I turn around to like cast grease, and then I just see fucking a fire.
Just an explosion, 31 damage.
And I cancel grease. I don't even cast it.
yeah, so she's like hit it. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've lost Berg. Berg is like well behind you now because he can only move 10 feet around floating as gas, but you don't get burned up. Okay, let's roll saves for them. So
That's a pretty good roll. Jesus, that's a good roll.
3 and 4. Okay.
I'll fail.
Well, I mean, you're all on even terms now because they have 32 hit points. So
Oh shit.
Jesus Christ.
yeah. So they're catching up to Ramus at least because Ramus, you stop to cast the spell, and they're catching up. I figure like we'll probably make a roll at this point to see Ramus if you can get away before they can like run up to you.
What if I followed
but
up with a
also-
second fireball?
Yes. Yeah. Well, so okay. Let's talk about this. So you hit them at 120 feet as they are moving out of the fireball. So they still get their full movement, but you hit them
For 60 or something?
So now they're 60 feet. How big is the fireball? I guess you could shoot
40
it past.
feet radius.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, if you've got another fireball, do it.
All right.
Jesus Christ. I was like,
Boom.
oh my God, that's an
Damn.
insane
Destroyed
roll.
him.
This time I'm not even gonna roll.
Shit.
So this time, here's what happens. So you conjure up another fireball and you throw it at the lead guy, and he like dodges out of the way and he goes past him and he looks at you and he's just like, "Ha! You missed!" And then it just burns them all up.
And I shout to him,
Yeah.
brace the tower.
Yeah. You just see his flesh just like incinerate off, and then his bones turn to dust, and the building under him crumbles, and now like the whole neighborhood is just on fire. And
As if the city needed more fire.
yeah, seriously.
The tower,
And
baby.
And we pan over to the woman, and she's like alone now. One of her goons is like pulling himself up, like onto the roof, and he looks up at her, and she shakes her head, and she's just like embarrassing, and she just kicks the dude in the face, and he falls down to the alley and dies. And she just watches, and kind of like we can see her face. She has these like we can only see her eyes under the mask. She has these like deep like amber eyes, and we just see her squint and like kind of like like you can see she's like interesting. So they weren't just like random peasants, and she makes note of this encounter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think as you turn around,
Remember that.
I whisper, or not whisper, I say to the others, Berg drank some potion and turned into a gaseous form, or so. I don't know where he's at, but hopefully he's okay. We should hurry to the tower.
Meanwhile, Berg up in the sky.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to after the first fireball, I have to turn around to see what the fuck is going on. I see that, and then I see the second fireball come out and just fucking crisp everybody in the vicinity, and they all
And
fall
Ramus
down
has-
burnt and terrible.
Ramus
After a
has the
moment-
biggest smile on his face too. Just
Yeah.
Your hands just steaming.
Yeah.
yeah, just that. I needed that.
After looking at Ramus for a second, I'm just like, Jesus Christ. I grab I keep the glasses in like a shirt pocket. I grab the glasses and I put them on and I take a look at I can see the lady, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it says like the eyes of the eagle said like the minutest detail or whatever, as long as I can see it. It's within my sight path. So I want to like see if there's any like symbols on her, anything to any ruins or something to look out for in the future, markings, anything like that. Get a good look at her eyes.
She's turning away from you. And as she does, the black and red like scales of her armor are like retracting or like withdrawing back into her skin. And so when she goes back down into the like now burning building, she opens the door and you can see fire spilling out, and she just walks like nude down into the fire and disappears. You can make a perception check, I guess.
With his advantage.
She's
you have advantage.
Like since she's like naked or whatever, is like human naked.
She does appear to have all the requisite parts to be a human. Yes.
Okay. I just wanted like green or scales or whatever.
I mean,
okay.
She has scales like emerging from her body in some magical way, but yeah, make a perception check and I'll see if you notice any other.
15.
All right. So, it's not just like the scales appear and disappear. Like there's some changes to her body. Her arms are shorten, like her fingers shorten to give her more human proportions. When she was in her like battle mode, she had like longer arms. She also, you can see that what looked like a cloak hanging from her back, it's actually wings, and they kind of like fold in and vanish into her skin. And her the way her legs were bent, like her feet were like longer, so she had that kind of digitigrade like stance, and her feet shortened back to human length, and she kind of like changes her body to a more like, upright human position. And so it's not just that; it's like subtle shifts in her bone and in flesh structure, and that all changes as she walks down into the fire.
Okay, can I do a history check to see if I've ever heard of anything like this?
It'd be Arcana.
Arcana check. Okay. 9.
No. Scary lady.
I'll describe it to Sally later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're probably
Okay.
You're probably like standing there, and I'd grab you by your arm, just say like, "Come on, we gotta go. Stop staring."
What did you see?
When we have a moment, I'll tell you everything.
Very well. We need to get out of here.
We scurry off on the rooftops without our Berg, who's just kind of wafting into the fucking sky. Hey guys, I'm gonna be there in a bit.
I just imagine him like, did any of you guys remember HR Puffin stuff?
No, I don't
Like,
remember.
I imagine him like in an HR Puffin stuff like show, just like, I'm a cloud.
It's like an old kids show with really weird, like Muppety kind of characters. It's some
That
shit.
sounds like some sort of like really.
It's me, HR Puffin Stuff. You know the show. You know the jingle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's how old Adam and Zeke are. So you know,
close. Yeah. It's a TV show from the 1920s. No,
Exactly.
it's just like a weird 70s show. But like, yeah,
I
mean,
only know
was-
it because they did a parody of it on Mr. Show.
So Berg, you are flying free as a cloud. You float out into the ether.
Burger P right now.
Yeah, pretty much. And you're I guess, are you following your friends?
Yeah, I'm doing my best to follow their trail or whatever.
Okay. All right.
I would imagine I have a good vantage point just because I'm gas and I could,
You're just very slow.
ascend or descend.
Yeah. All right. So where you guys are just you're gonna try to find another place to rest, or are you just gonna push on and head to the gate that separates the district?
are we gonna
Yep.
do that? We're gonna try to get to the gate.
That's I'm heading. I will push through the fucking pain or whatever until we get to a place that is at least semi-friendly with people who aren't going to kill us and we're not alone.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, I think the next scene that we have then is the group of you minus Berg approaching a gate, a shut metal and wood gate between this district and the next higher one. So there's a set of stone stairs that lead up to it, and there is a big, like, I guess it's been painted on the door. The characters in the tongue of the, like, in common and in the tongue of the Court of Wands, the character for the Aharisa, and then this gate shut by order of the Immortals, no transit in. It says, don't dead enter inside. Yeah, so it's just it's painted in big red letters, like, door shut, stay out, by order of the Immortals.
Are there any guards or anything around?
Not on this side. Nope.
Like, can they see me if I try to pick the lock? Is what I'm saying.
Oh, it's like it's a gate. There's no lock. It's barred probably by like big timbers on the other side.
Oh, okay.
It's like this is like a castle gate, not
Is it
like
climbable?
The wall?
Yeah.
Probably not by you, but like a person might be able to. Sure. It's just a stone wall made up of bricks.
Well, you got another fireball, Ramus?
How did
Can't just
Let's
fireball.
not go to that, right away.
is this the kind of gate that me and Berg left to go do the mission?
It's one of the, like, these are common. It's one of the like 100 gates of the city of Brass. It just separates again, they're almost never closed, but it separates the districts from one another. It used to be one of the front gates of the city back when the city was much smaller.
Okay.
Yeah.
How high is the wall?
Like, I don't know, 20 feet. Stone wall.
Does it look scalable for me?
I mean, yeah, it's just a stone wall. You could probably like try. You could try to climb it.
Yeah, you're a person. I'm not.
I'll try. I'll untie the girl from my waist. I'll let her down easy, and just I'll motion to her, like, to the gate. I'm gonna go over the gate. Stay here.
Okay.
So I get
like, you set her down, and she's coughing a little bit. She's got soot all over from the fire and from the ash, and so she like sits down, and, like, rubs her eyes and kind of looks sleepily up at you, like, this is some shit, and then just like folds her arms and kind of like stares at the ground, like, okay, I guess.
they didn't have nothing like this on the rice farm.
Yeah, seriously, this is the most stuff that she's ever seen in her whole life.
Okay.
Just
Let
don't
me see.
fall,
I'm
Zeke.
actually looking up, like, how high, like a high jump for these boots.
Just don't fall.
Yeah, it basically
please.
just doubles your strength for the purpose of jumping, which makes you a slightly better than average jumper. Whereas on Berg, it would make him like a Wuxia like character. It'd be some Crouching Tiger, Hidden Berg shit. For you, a high jump is 3 plus your strength modifier. If you can move 10 feet first, which you can, but then you double your strength modifier, or you double your. Let me double check.
Okay.
Boots of jumping. You can jump. Oh, it's 3 times your normal distance. So that means, what's your strength modifier? -1.
-2.
Okay. So you could jump directly up in the air, an exciting 3 feet.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
You jump, and I'm like, well, I could do that. Just jump 3.
I'm not gonna. No, if I know, I know that. I'm not gonna fucking jump in front.
You wouldn't do something to make it look stupid, but like that's the thing. That's how it works, right? Because
I picture you.
That's so dumb how jumping works.
equal to 3
Yeah.
plus your strength modifier, which is 1.
-2.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
your strength modifier is -2, so it's 1 feet times 3, so you can jump up in the air 3 feet.
Oh my god.
Okay. Well, I'm going to climb then.
Yes, definitely.
I'm picturing the moment in Superman, the new one, where he like gets down on the ground and everything ripples around him, and he takes off into space, except you jump 3 feet.
It's fucking. I hate that. I hate the jumping rules. Like,
I mean,
so funny.
man,
jumping is based on the like your leg strength, right? Like how hard you can use your leg muscles to push yourself away from Earth's gravity. 7 strength is very low. Like you are physically weaker than Berg is dumb. Like we rag on Berg for being stupid, but Calimot is frail, right?
You're right.
Like,
Oh my god.
Call.
like it's true, right?
Nice.
All right.
The boots help, but like the same shit would happen if you had an intelligence boosting item for Berg. Like you can only work with the core material so well. So acrobatics is like rolling and dodging and like movement. It's how dexterity is different from strength. Dexterity is it's a separate set of like ability.
All right. What is the check for climbing? What like ability, or not ability? Or yeah, ability.
Climbing is athletic.
Climbing is athletics.
You got them arm muscles. Yep.
Okay. All right.
But this isn't about like you can climb it. It's just about how long and whether there's complications, because it wouldn't make any sense. You're not running, you're not like trying to get away from something real fast, you're not trying to scale the wall quickly. It's just like how long does it take or how difficult is it? So you can climb with an athletic.
Okay.
Good luck.
I'll give you guidance too to help.
Okay.
Okay.
Roll an extra d4.
Oops.
Forgot your slayish.
Yep. There we go. Okay, so 14.
Okay. All right. So yeah, no problem. Like you can find handholds, you can pull yourself up. You're fucking exhausted from carrying this girl around on your back and like running across the rooftops of the city. And as you start to like climb, you reach the top of the wall and like lift yourself up, and there's 2 members of the Aharisa looking at you, and they both reach down to grab you. Like, what are you doing? And they're gonna like pull you up. Do you say anything, or do you like? They're just gonna grab each of you, grab one arm, and pull you up onto the wall.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
They're guards.
I must have.
on top of the wall. Yeah.
Oh, they're guards up
standing
top of the wall.
Yeah, and so when you pull yourself up to the top, they're like, "Hey, buddy, where are you going? Come here!" And they like grab you and pull you up.
Yep. Oh, thank God you're here. We were being pursued by servants of the Mara.
One of the guards, when you say that, one of the guards is like, "Dude, don't say that word." The other guard's like, yeah, you and everyone else. You know it's illegal to climb these walls when the doors are shut. I looked it up. You're not the first person to try this.
No, I'm sure I'm not, and especially in these trying times, but we have a small child with us, and we seek refuge. You see her down below. I'm only thinking of her safety and the safety of my companions.
And the other guard, one of the guards is holding your arm, like trying to get your arm behind your back. Like he's basically like grappling you. I assume you're not resisting, so he's not being like rough with you. But he's just kind of like, don't you try to go anywhere. And the other guy, so you say that, and the other guy peers over the edge, and he looks down, and he's like, there's some kind of kid in like a turtle thing.
Yeah, I waved to him.
And somebody
as
else.
He looks over.
And he like pulls back, and he's like, I mean, there's some stuff down there. I don't. And then the other guy says to you, he's like, do you have papers? His hand out.
I left everything behind. It's so chaotic out there. You've seen it. Maybe there's a way that you let us in. I mean, I'm sure that we could work out something.
Yeah, the guards look at each other, and then the guard talking to you looks at your like coin purse, and then yeah, he says, "Yeah, it's the strangest thing. People just leaving their papers behind. Now this door is shut. That means we have to keep the wrong kinds of people out and only let the right kinds of people in. Are you the You the right kind of people, you and your friends?
Absolutely.
And he says, well, I mean, maybe we could look the other way just this one time. And he kind of like, he's like, this is a part where you should bribe it up.
And this just comes from a lack of like not living in this world, but like, what would be like a decent amount, and what would be like overly paying?
If a cop pulled you over for speeding and you really didn't want to get a ticket, how much money would you give that police officer? Like it's one of those things you got to take a gamble, right? You got to kind of be like, here's your friend, George Washington. like George. I don't actually know he's on American money.
Okay, so I grab my coin pouch.
Yes.
And it has 209 gold in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I pick it up and I like just put it into his hand. Like, that is what my life is worth, for that is all that I have.
The whole purse?
Yep.
Okay. He takes it and he kind of like hefts it, and he has the class at least of not opening it and like counting it. But he feels the weight, and he says, I think so. Make a persuade check. I'm gonna see if he wants to put the screws to you.
To get advantage?
Okay.
You're a likable dude, so we'll see.
I love it. I love it. 12. I love it.
Yeah, good. It's like your best skill. And
Plus 10.
he holds it.
Yep.
He holds it in his hand. And he says to you, I think you're right. This is what your life is worth. And he's like tucking it into his purse. And he says, but your friends. He shrugged. And he says to the other guard, he's like, take this one to the other side. And he walks up to you and he's like, come on. And he grabs your arm.
Okay.
And there's a set of stairs on this side of the wall that lead down into the city. So he's like leading you that way.
I would imagine that's more than enough to get at least, please. I beg of you, just the girl.
Yeah, and he's just shaking his head. And he's like, listen, you already bought your safety, Dragon Man. Keep quiet, lest we change our mind.
Is anyone else tipping their heads over the gate?
Yeah, the other guard, the first guard now wants to take a look at this Dragon Man. So this Turtle Man, and he peers over the edge.
The second that I see, well, I won't meta game this too hard. Do I recognize that it's a guard of the Immortals?
Yeah, the Aharsa always dress the same way.
Okay, I immediately cast message. It's 120 feet. How tall is the wall?
What did I say, 20 feet?
Okay, I cast message and I say, we are on a mission by the page. Help us. Or from the page.
So he hears the message and he kind of like staggers back and like not like ugh, like he's surprised, but he's surprised he heard that, and he leans back over and he says, he's like, yeah, pull the other one. Like you
exactly why I didn't fucking say that.
You've come up to the gate and you've been like, officer, the vice president says that we have an important mission to let us inside, and he's like, bullshit, Turtle Man.
Do I have anything from the
I think
page?
it's so unreasonable. Like there's no reason for him to think that that's true.
Where's Berg in all this? Is he? I just want to get a good cutaway into the.
I asked to see.
You're nowhere, Max.
I mean, you can.
I asked to see.
You can
I asked to
basically,
see Farsad.
you can drift in whenever you want. Sorry, what did you say?
I asked to see Farsad. If you're taking me somewhere, please take me to Farsad.
Make another persuade check.
Okay. Please, 17.
Not bad.
And he stops and he says, how do you know the commander?
We fought side by side outside of the city gates. We slew a giant, 2 ogres, and a troll. Look, the troll's blood still is upon me. Or the ogre's blood.
And he looks at you and he's like, so you're filthy. That doesn't and you can see he's starting to like he believes
I
you,
start-
but he's trying to talk up, like be like, that can't be true.
I start describing his demeanor, like, you know, Captain Farsad is Captain. Commander, you know Commander Farsad. He's this. He looks like this. He's this tall. He wears this. He has a broadsword. He has a gruff demeanor. He cared not if I lived or died.
Yeah, and he's scowling, and he's just like that sounds like, but there could be like the monologue here is like, well, that does sound like Commander Farsad, right? Like, he is a real asshole, and that does sound like his description, but like anybody could have met him. Maybe he arrested this guy. Like, I don't know. And you can see him working over, and he just wants to get rid of you. And when you get to the like bottom of the steps, he says, well, if you're such good friends with the commander, then go and see him yourself. He like points up the hill towards the palace. He says, I bet you he's up there right now, waiting for your mission report.
And what is your name so that I can tell him to commend you?
He scowls at you, and he says, my name is Mercy. And he sneers. And he says, you're lucky to have your life. I didn't leave you down there. Get out of my sight. I think he like turns around. He turns his back on you and goes to like walk away.
Perfect. As he turns his back, I'm going to take my coin purse back.
Come here, you fucker. Okay.
That's exactly why I gave him the whole thing. I'm just gonna fucking steal it back.
Good luck. I wouldn't have done that today.
I'm gonna use inspiration on this. I have inspiration still.
Okay. All right,
so I'm gonna use inspiration on this.
Yeah. Let me find a character sheet for this average dude. And then I'll I guess pose it with his perception, and we'll see what happens.
I would laugh so fucking hard if it was just like double ones.
Okay, ready?
It's possible. Let me get my character sheet out here.
What is it, like a 2% chance or something like that?
So you've got advantage. Do you want me to roll first and see what you beat, or no? Let's have you roll and then I'll roll against it.
Yep.
Okay.
24,
Not
motherfucker.
bad. Not bad.
Okay.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna steal something else if I can. If he fails it that hard, you should give me something else off of his person.
You failed really hard, but you didn't like crit, so you don't get any like bonus shit. But he just absolutely doesn't notice, and he won't. So you're just like, yoink, and he just walks back up the stairs like, yeah, what a dick.
Yep.
Now you only have until he gets to the top of the stairs, and the other guard says to him, "How much did we make?" Before he realizes, what are you gonna do?
Yep. As soon as he's like, as soon as I have a good idea that he's out of earshot to hear me like running, I'm going to just fucking wait, hold on a second. Can you see through the gate?
No, it's a big metal. I mean, if you were like right up against it, there's probably like a crack this big. Like, they're not airtight. You can like peer through it.
Okay. So if I like talked loudly or shouted, the guys Sully and Ramus on the other side could hear me.
I mean, if you run up to the gate, you could just yell through the crack, or not even yell. You could just be like, Sully, and like they could hear you for sure.
Okay, that's what I'll do. I'll run to the gate.
It's a 20-foot wall. He's going up the stairs, which gives it a little extra height. Let's call it like 2 rounds. You can do 2, like 4. You have 4 actions, right? Like a move, your cutting action, all that shit. Basically 2 combat rounds.
Okay.
So what are you going to do?
I'm gonna move to the gate.
Slowly, like walking up the stairs.
Yep. I'm gonna move to the gate. I'm going to say, Sully, I've got passage in, but only for me. I'm going to go get Farsad, and he will let you all in. I'm sorry, it's the best I could do, but I must leave now.
By the time he says all of that, I've only turned around, probably.
What?
What?
Yep. And then I'm out. I'm going to dash away. I'm going to stealth and hide so he doesn't find me.
Sure. Yeah. So you can get pretty far before you have to hide.
Okay.
So make a stealth check.
Okay. Fucking 12.
God damn. Dude.
Jesus Christ, man. This is just terrible.
Okay.
The rolls tonight have not been great.
No.
No, they've not been great. It's true. So we see the guy come up to the top of the stairs, and Sully, do you say anything to Ramus and the girl?
Did they not hear it, or was it only me?
No, it's just you. I think you're the closest one to the door.
Yeah, I turn around and say, Kalimat made through, but he's going to find the commander that we fought with. I assume we're just to wait here. I'm not sure.
Adam, I know this is a very magic-based city, but do they really respect the arcana and religion?
I mean, it's too big a city to make a call like that. Of all of the courts, the Court of Wands is the least pious. But also the biggest temples in the world are in this city. Not universally, but like many of the biggest ones are.
And is the temple district right behind this wall, like that's in this area?
No, it's a little further up. It's closer to. It was one of the first things that was built, right? They built the palace atop the mountain, and then the temple below it, and then the rest of the city spread out down the mountain from there.
Okay.
Yeah. So if Sully or Ramus, if either of you have anything you want to do, you can do that. Berg, I think that an hour, even at 10 feet a turn or whatever, I think with an hour you can go up and then drift down on the other side of the wall, so you don't have to worry about any of that. It's going to be hard to catch up with them, especially Kalimat if he's running at full pace. But the wall doesn't really obstruct you at all because you're a cloud.
He just passes through it,
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, Sully and Ramus, do either of you have anything you want to do before?
Yes.
Before they realize
There's
that the
something
money's not there.
I do want to do is I want to start a very loud chant and prayer that from the monastery about casting your back on those in need and the sacrifice your soul will pay for, for turning those away from you when you can help them. Like basically a giant prayer to reach these guards up there, to remind them your soul might be in jeopardy if you're turning these people away. Basically using religion to try to get them to want to help us.
Yeah. There's a chant in the canon of coins, probably the 6th canon. That is it's a prayer to the arcana of a prayer for generosity, a prayer for giving, a prayer for sharing. And you can sing it one of two ways, right? You can sing the chant in a major key, which celebrates charity and generosity, or you can sing it in a minor key, which makes it an admonishment of the rich, a song of selfishness, and like a call to atonement. Which would you like to use?
Probably the second one, to call for atonement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what is your goal? What do you want to have happen?
I want them to feel guilty that there's a helpless child here and they're not helping it, and they could, and want them basically to feel bad and be like, maybe we should let at least the child in,
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting because of the contrast between that asshole took all our money and we made him bribe us, but also you're gonna have to roll real good.
I know. It's at least I'm trying something.
Adam,
unfortunately, it's a performance check.
Oh,
but
nice.
you can certainly have a go at it.
Adam, would this go towards understanding how a spell of Ramus is cast at its core level? Because he's basically putting it up.
This is a lay prayer.
Okay.
This is just something that anyone would sing. So he's not casting a spell.
Gotcha.
But you can certainly ask him about it later. What's the difference between you casting a spell and you making this prayer?
Right.
Why does one give you spells and why does the other not?
Yeah, and I'll give myself guidance for this as well.
Okay. The tower is not this is not part of the canto of the tower. Normally tower worshippers, they sing the 10th canon for the most part, the crumbling of things, the destruction, the turning of the world into darkness. That's a thing, but this one, you're a little rusty. You haven't sung this chant in a while.
I'll make an illusion of the child dying or something of thirst.
Wow.
They can't see it through the thing. I don't know.
Okay, now you got 13.
14.
14? Okay, let me roll. I'll roll a will save. Or wisdom save. And I'll give them advantage because it's just a song. But they don't beat you.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So here's what we see. One guy is like leaning over. The guy that didn't get the money, he's leaning over. There are footsteps, and the guy comes up to the top, and he's like about to reach for his belt. And he's like, "What is that racket?" And he comes over, and the other guard is like, "I don't know. One of them's singing." And he's like, "What? Singing? Yes, he's a prayer or something." And he comes over the edge, and the two of them poke their head over, and they look down. And one of the guards is like, "Stop that! Stop that annoying song!" And I assume you don't.
No, I keep going and more intense.
Yeah, and the way the song is if you sing it in the minor key, the way this canon like prayer is, it's meant to be annoying. Like you can't not listen to it. It's the kind of thing that like the like priests of the hermit or monks of the hermit would do. They would go to like a rich person's house, and they would just all sit around their house and just sing this day and night to chastise them for being so greedy and like, yeah, it's meant to be a prayer of admonishment. And one of them is like, "Stop that. Stop it." And the other one is just like, "Oh, I hate this song. I hate it." And he like sits down and like, puts his hands over his ears. Oh. And the other one is like, we can't kill him for singing, can we? And he's like, "No, it's not a crime to sing. But it's a crime to annoy me, isn't it?" "No, it's not." And he like leans back over and he's like, "Stop it." And then you don't. And the guard they turn to each other and they're like, "Okay, listen, we'll just let them in, and then he'll stop, and we'll report it when we get back, when we get the shift change." He's like, "But we're not supposed to let anyone in." And he says, "Well, I know we're not supposed to let anyone in, idiot, but what, you want to sit here until he runs out of voice? I've heard the way these monks sing. He'll be at it for hours." And everyone's like, "Fine, just go. Just go ahead." And then he runs downstairs, and you hear this like, and he like opens the thing, he peers his head out, and he looks at you, and you see the guard, and he's like, "Stop it." And he like waves. He's like, "Come on, just shut up." And we see the kid. She gets up, and she's got her fingers in her ears, and she just looks at you like, "I hate you. Stop this. This is gross." She scowls at you like she hates you too. And she looks at the guards like, "See, like I have to travel with these assholes." And yeah, and the guard like rushes you through, and then shuts the door and puts the bar down. And have you stopped?
I'm still going.
Yeah, are you just like getting closer to his ears, screaming?
Yeah, I'm acting like I'm in prayer and I can't hear what they're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just walking
I can't
forward.
hear you. I'm being pious.
Yes.
And he's just like, just go, like get in there. And he closes the door and like push. He like literally is physically pushing you away from him. And you head down the street, and he turns back and starts going back up the stairs. And he's like doing this, like, "Oh God, I'm never gonna be able to get that song out of my head." Yeah, he climbs up the stairs, and the three of you are free to escape, to go out into the city.
Three of us.
So what do you do?
Berg or Zeke?
I don't know where either of them are. They've like run off.
Oh, sorry. You mean I
Halimad ran
forgot
off
the child. The child doesn't even
Yeah, the
factor into my mind.
He's just walking behind you with her fingers in her ears, like, "Oh, stop it."
And I stop. Well, as soon as we're out of earshot of them.
She, like, pops her fingers in her ears. She just looks at you like, "Don't you ever repeat again."
Hey, gotta send, didn't it?
Well, you're.
And she just mutters something in peasant, and I figure you're probably like, I don't know, unless you dash off when you're out of sight. Like, what do you do once you're out of sight of the, like, they can't see you anymore? You're like kind of in the streets.
I guess we try to find. Kalamat said he was going towards the
Commander's
to look
office,
for like
yeah.
some sort of official-looking post or something, and work our way towards there.
I mean, find a different guard and say, "Where's the commander's office from here?" If there's,
I mean, I feel like you don't want to go talk to the guards because you just. The thing is, they're about to realize that they got.
Oh no, I'm
robbed.
not saying the same guards. I'm saying we walk further down into the city if we find another
Okay,
guard.
so you're just gonna kind of like try to be inconspicuous and like blend in into the, because there are
Yeah.
people here, right?
Yeah,
People are going about
yeah,
their
yeah.
business, and like the day is
So we're
starting.
not going
and
back
so
to
there
the
are
same
people-
guards. Hey, where's
We're
commander at?
definitely,
Hey guys,
definitely
over
walking
here.
away.
So
Yeah, we're going opposite
yeah,
direction.
so you hear a shout from the wall. You hear like, "Hey, they took my bribe!" And then like more kind of shouting as you like disappear out into the city.
Great.
So you know Kalimat is headed for the Citadel. You don't have to ask anybody where it is. Like it's part of the palace, right? Like there's the white spires of the palace, and then there's the lower crenellations and turrets of the red walled Citadel of the Aharisa. So you can head there. It's part of the governmental building.
Great.
And so that's something that you can do. Berg, where do you end up? Yeah,
That's just
I mean, it's
as
only
far
an
as
hour.
I'm willing to say. No. So Kali he was let in, and then he's headed to the Citadel.
Mm-hmm.
I probably follow Kali.
Okay, Kalimat's too fast for your smoky form, and you lose him. He's very much on like that's on purpose. So do you just like reform after an hour by yourself somewhere?
Yeah, I mean, I guess so, because that's who he was following.
Okay, all right. So you reform like in an alley somewhere, so where no one can see you. You don't just like congeal back into Berg in the middle of nowhere. And you reform, and it feels good but weird to have a body again. But you don't know where your friends are. Everybody's scattered to the winds, but that's the opposite of true. So they've all scattered. You step out of the alley into the street.
Well, I know where Kali's going, right? If I've been following him and heard the conversation, I guess. Did he ever talk about like where he was going, or is he just?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think that was the plan until recently, right? Until like a minute ago. But you could. I mean, I think it's reasonable that you could have like figured in enough that you would have heard enough that you're all headed in the same direction. You just got separated because Kalimat's fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So is that what you?
What is my immediate surroundings like? What kind of area am I in?
I think you're in a. Oh, I know where you are. So you step into the alley.
I like when you said that.
And immediately you're shot to death by 26 crossbows. You walked into Crossbow Alley. No. So you hear and smell familiar things. You hear the banging sound of metal hammers against steel. You hear the hiss of molten metal being submerged in water. You can smell charcoal burning, the smell of forges. And the neighborhood is like there's a heat to this place. All the buildings here are stone and quite low. And as you walk out, you see next to you someone throw a horseshoe into a barrel with a bunch of other horseshoes in it. And this kid, he's like 20, he like looks at you like, ugh, Halford just walked out of that alley. And yeah, you're in like a metalworkers like market or like workshop district. And you see, like swords and spears and arrows and stuff. You're surrounded by the accoutrement of battle, as well as like other metal goods, like armor makers and what have you. So yeah, you step out into this area, and that's what you.
Is there any sort of inn at all that looks like somewhere Berg could rest? Because Berg's not really too interested in wandering the streets on his own.
Yeah, I mean, you could probably try to find an inn if you wanted, but this isn't really the neighborhood for it, right? Because this is like people's houses and workshops.
I'm also thinking, does Berg even have any gold? Like, I don't know that he does. Okay, so this is not it's not abandoned like part of town. It's pretty lively, and there's
lots of people working and yeah.
Is there any just spare shields hanging around that Berg can just pick up? It's just
yeah. I mean, there's like there are armor shops. There's someone like that has shields out front to kind of show off their wares. There's a dwarf. Yeah, there's a dwarf merchant who. You can see him. He's just kind of opening shop, and he's hanging a shield up on the sort of front. He's got a little display of shields there.
I was considering trying to barter with them and just give them a hammer for a shield. I do have a fine hammer with a beautiful lady's face on it.
You do. That's true.
I think Berg walks a little bit further into the, maybe closer to like the where the shields are to inspect to see if there's one that like fits him.
Yeah. So he's got all kinds of shields and armor. It seems like he's a shield maker. Yeah, it's an older like male dwarf. He has a big like curly gray beard. He's bald. And he has a dwarven like crafting mask. They have these big metal masks they wear when they're crafting, but he's not wearing it right now. He's got it turned over so it's on the back of his head. And so you see his face and you're like, oh wait, no, he's facing the other direction because he's gone into the shop. And when he hears you walk in, he turns around and he looks up. He looks at your arm, looks at your broken tusk, like takes in the Berg. Do you speak Dwarven? Dwarvish?
Yeah.
Okay. He says in Dwarvish, he says, by the fire. That's a big one. And then he switches to common, and he says, good morning, friend. Can I help you find something? And he gestures. He says, I'm just getting set up for the morning, but I'm sure I have whatever it is you're looking for.
Says back in Dwarvish. Anything large enough for me?
And
Where am I?
he laughs, and he says, are you lost, friend? And he's speaking Dwarven now, and he says, your Dwarvish is quite good. This is for Dro. All the best of us work here. If you're looking for weapons, for shields, for armor, anything, find Dwarven craftsmanship. And some humans too. There are a couple of Genasi, but their work is far too delicate for one such as you. If you're looking for something special, a custom order, you've come to the right place.
Let me ask you something, Adam. It is a dwarvish warhammer, like is it warhammer or is it just a hammer?
You got it from a dwarf, but
I know it's
you don't
from a
know
dwarf,
if
right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it is,
you don't
right?
know if it's dwarven craft.
That's what I was saying. I don't know if it's like that was trying to make sure to specify that because I know I got it off a dwarf. I just don't know if it's something he'd be particularly interested. But is it magical or is it just like a +1 hammer?
+1 is magical.
Is that what?
Yeah.
That? No. Okay. Well then, fuck. I'm not gonna give him a +1 hammer for some regular ass shield.
Yeah, it's a mace technically, but yeah.
Oh, mace. That's what it was. Fuck, man. I wish I had some gold on me. I guess he says to the guy. I may come back and ask for your services. What is your name?
He puts his hand out to shake yours, and he says, let me find a good name for this dude. He says, my name is Makru. Did you shake his hand?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, and he's just like a rock arm.
Yeah.
And like to the point where he kind of like shakes your hand and then forgets he's shaking your hand and is like staring and then he like realizes and takes his hand away.
Don't worry. It won't hurt you if I don't want it to.
He shakes his head and he says, oh, I'm not worried, friend. Curious, but not worried.
Now, when you say custom, what do you have? Say for maybe something like this. And he like shows him the mace.
Yeah, and he like squints and looks at it, and he says, beautiful work. May I?" And he like goes to pick it up.
Berg nods.
Okay. And he picks it up and hefts a little bit. He's like, excellently balanced. Is it enchanted?
Berg nods.
Yeah. He says, Where did you get it? Do you know who made it? Where it came from?
No.
Human.
Unfortunately.
It's human work, I think. A dwarf would never make a weapon with a face on it. Too crude. But no arguing with the, like, it's like looking at like, wow, this is it's like a nice mace. He's just transfixed by it. Like he's barely paying attention to you.
It served well. But if you have something, a shield of equal or better value, you tell me, Smith.
And he looks up at you and he's like holding it, and you can see, make an insight check.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you've known a dwarf or two in your day.
Right.
And like your people, there are stories told about what all dwarves are like. And I think you have seen in action, whether it's a magical curse or simply cultural prevalence, some dwarves have a tendency towards obsessiveness around particularly beautiful objects, particularly strong slaves, perhaps, things they perceive to be theirs. And when you look at this dwarf, you can see that this item has lit a fire under that desire. And he looks at you, and it's like, you're going to have a hard time getting out of this place with the hammer. Like, he wants it real bad. In fact, he's already internalized that it belongs to him. And so he looks at you, still clutching it, and now like kind of with both hands, like don't take it from me. He looks up at you and he says, it pains me to say so, friend, but nothing in my shop is of. You could take all the suits of armor in this place and not match the value. But I have gold. I would buy it from you, certainly.
So he has like no, what's his range in like I guess just like basic shield, like that I can use.
Yeah,
You know what
I mean he has any like shield or armor in the player's handbook that you might want. So you have those as options, and they're all. He's a good craftsman.
Yeah. Did I have any of my it says breastplate, but what was like actually fucked up from there? Is it just that I don't have a shield? I still have my armor on.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah. Let me look at your character sheet real quick. But I think that's how it goes. Yeah. Because
Did
if
I
you unequip your breastplate, your AC's. If you unequip your breastplate, your armor is only 11. So yeah, it's 15 because breastplate plus your normal modifiers.
Okay. Is half plate medium armor, or like I always forget the like the tiers of armor. Basically, I'm just trying to be like good armor, some gold, and then we'll call it
Let me see. Half plate armor is it's
because I
medium.
know I only wear medium. That's what I can do.
Yep.
So I guess I'm just looking for the top tier medium. I know we've looked up this a bunch.
I think
before,
that's it. I mean, it's been a long time. Yeah, I think half plate is your main.
Yeah, it's half plate.
It would
Half
give
plate
you,
is
it would
15
give you
plus dex.
disadvantage. Yeah, it would give you disadvantage on stealth checks, but
Right. But that's not. I'm just wearing. It says breastplate. I thought I had half plate. Did we lose that to rust monsters or some shit?
it got
Fucking
chewed up.
rust monsters.
Yep. Yeah, the breastplate's the highest AC without disadvantage on stealth. For medium armor, it's 14 plus dex, and then half is 15 plus dex with disadvantage.
Okay. And just final question. I know I'm asking a lot, but does Berg know? Does he know how much this is? He obviously knows it's worth a lot, but I'm saying, Berg's not somebody who, it's not like a fucking Smith or somebody who has a great knowledge of how much this would actually be worth, the mace that he's bartering with. Probably not, right? Okay.
No, you're not.
Fair enough.
Sure.
Okay. Berg just says, surveys his works.
Half plate. Shield. You get mace.
And he squints at you and he says, these are dangerous times, friend. My armor goes for a premium. Now, the mace is beautiful, but I can't bankrupt myself in pursuit of it. You understand, of course. Perhaps if you had something else to offer in addition.
Half plate.
How much?
Shield.
JP, do you have the equipment table open there? Do you know how much
Yeah.
half plate costs?
750 GP. Breastplate's
And then a
400.
shield.
Shield is 10.
Berg, why don't you make a DC 15 persuade check. And do it with advantage.
Okay.
So is it canceled out because he's still exhausted?
Where the hell's persuade?
Yes, yeah, it's
Oh,
canceled out
persuasion.
because you're exhausted.
Okay. Fuck these rolls tonight. God damn it.
So here's what happens, and I don't know. I'll leave it up to you because you got danger. Your danger sense goes off. This dwarf thinks to himself, "I bet you I could like this. This half orc looks like shit. He looks tired. He looks beat up. I bet you I could just take this mace that I have in my hand, kill him with it, bury him in the backyard, and I'd have the mace and all my stuff. Yeah, that's a good idea. I should do that."
Okay, so
you feel all of a sudden he goes from like a greedy dwarf to like, wait, he's gonna try and kill me.
Yeah. So Berg strikes first. I guess he would wait till the guy tries to do something and reaction try to hit him.
I mean, you don't have to,
knock him
right?
out.
Like your instinct is such that you can see him like we get the cut, right? You can see there's sweat beading on his forehead, his pupils are dilated, he squeezes the mace a little. You're like everything in your instinctive, like the animal part of you is like, oh, he's gonna try to kill me. He's gonna try to bite my throat out. Like some deep atavistic part of you is ready to go, and you can take a swing at him before he does anything if you want to.
Yeah, Berg's just gonna take a swing to knock him out. Is there wait, before he does that, is there any like how many people are in the area, like where he's at right now?
No one. You're alone in the shop with him.
No. Berg's going to knock him.
Good luck.
Okay.
All right.
He's not wearing armor or anything. He has his mask on his back though, so it's like that doesn't affect him.
Am I doing the tool blows conduit?
Yeah, just take a swing with your hammer.
All right. Please. That should be good.
Yep, that hits. Yeah, roll damage. So 10, 11, because you're not raging. Okay. So you sense danger, and then you strike. You just weapon out, you hit him, and we see him collapse to the floor. The mace tumble from his hand, and I think he gets. You don't kill him, right? You get the strike, you hit him, and I think he hits like a suit of armor and falls down. There's like a crash. Like you can't do this quietly. It's just like a crash as the like armor falls down, but he's unconscious. And
Berg wastes no time. He's
what are you gonna do? Yeah.
Berg's grabbing the mace back from off the guy, making sure he's unconscious, and then he's gonna grab the half plate and the shield.
Okay, so it's gonna here's the thing, Berg. It's gonna take time to get the plate off of, like, you have to find a suit that'll fit you, take it off of the dummy, throw it in a bag or whatever, and then run out with it. You did just make a bunch of noise.
Sure. Then you know what? Berg might just cut his losses and grab a shield and then walk away.
Okay, yeah. So you just because that you could do. You could yank the shield
Yeah.
and then do you?
Yeah,
do you run
it's
out
not
the
worth
front
sticking around for the
door,
half plate.
or-
Yeah, he surveys, knows he made a bunch of noise, grabs the hammer, the mace back, grabs the shield, and is on his way.
Okay, so you just kind of like walk out the door. Okay, he's gonna be unconscious for a while, but
Yeah.
do you want to try to make a stealth check to?
Yeah, I
Like-
mean, I might as well.
Because otherwise, you're just gonna walk out, and a bunch of people are gonna see you walk out, and they're gonna be like,
Sure.
"Oh, that orc with the weird arm," and like later when he
yeah.
wakes up, he'll be like, "Ah, it was
Yeah,
that guy
yeah.
you all saw him," and then
Mhm.
your wanted level.
God fucking damn it! What are these rolls tonight? It's so hard to do anything.
It's really
So
bad.
you walk outside, and I think
It's
you
so
bump into
bad.
someone who's on their way inside. So there's a dwarf woman, and she's on her way in, and she's carrying, I don't know, like a basket with some bread in it. And she bumps into you and drops the bread. And she looks up, and you like look her in that. The two of you like make eye contact, and you know she makes this face of like, I will never forget the face of that orc that I saw. And then she's like, clumsy orc, and like puts the best stuff back in her.
Berg's like,
God
as
damn.
fast as Berg can possibly go.
Okay, so I think Berg,
Just knock
Just
her
as
out
you-
too. Just take them all out.
because you're fast, so just as you get like
Yeah.
kind of away from them, and you start to get into the crowd, you hear her shout, "Steve, Steve!" And like she walks in and sees the guy knocked out on the floor, and so she like starts shouting, and she comes out into the crowd, and she's like peering and pointing as you start to like try to like get into the
Yeah,
crowd.
Berg's like hunching down so he's not like so tall.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to run for it? Because
yeah, Berg's fucking going.
Okay, make an athletics check. You've got disadvantage because you're exhausted.
Thank you.
Okay,
bad.
15's
That's
pretty
pretty
good.
decent.
Okay, so you just run for it with this shield on your arm, just like ugh, you book it into the alleys, and they will all they'll remember that you did this. They'll go to the Harisa and they'll file a report and all of that.
I'm not worried about that, Harisa.
Robbed by Berg. I'll put a note on my NPC. Okay.
Listen, he was
Um,
trying to rob me.
I mean, justify it however you like. I'm okay. Let me grab you a shield from the thing here.
Shield
Oh.
gotten.
Shield obtained. Cool. Your AC is now 17. And you are good
Worse.
to go.
I don't care. Little bounty. You kidding me? He used to have a huge bounty and he's been fine.
Right. Everything's fine. You're a free Berg. Meanwhile, Kalimat, I guess you're the quick one. You ran off. You can move real quick through the
Yep.
through the crowd. Where are you going? Where are you headed?
I'm headed straight to the where they pointed, where the captain would be or the commander would be.
Yeah, I mean you're just headed for the fortress. Okay.
Yep.
So you head up that way, and I think we just cut to that. Like there's not a lot of like it takes time. It's like midday now.
Okay.
And as you imagine, the fortress is like pretty high security right now because it's the last stop if you were to try to, I don't know, invade or destroy the city. So there are guards all over the place. And the plaza outside the palace is a highly secured area. So as you approach, I think that it's, we talked about before having this big red wall and then like a ditch dug around the outside of the wall, and then probably like a drawbridge that's set down. What do you do? It's not the kind of place you can just like walk into, basically.
No, is there anybody in the livery of the?
Oh yeah, they're everywhere. Yeah,
Okay.
guys are all over the place.
If there's someone that's posted like that looks like he's manning the post or looks like they're in charge, I'm going to go up to that one.
Okay, all right.
All right.
So you, I mean, there isn't anybody necessarily in charge, but there are guards at the end of the. I mean, they're everywhere to keep people from just walking in.
Right.
And so as you approach, this woman, one of the Aharisa, she puts her hands up to slow you, like in case you think you can just walk in. and she says, "I'm sorry, Effendi, you can't come in today. Business in the Citadel is closed. If you have something you need to bring up with the constabulary, please see your local office. The fortress is shut."
Yes, I understand that. I did you hear of the train cars that fell off the rails that plummeted to the earth? Did you hear about that, or did you actually hear it happening?
Let's see if she did. She nods, and she says, "Yes, I heard about it. It happened yesterday. Terrible
Yes, it did.
tragedy. Were you looking for someone you believe to be on that train? We've
I was
been
on that
taking
train.
report. What?
I was on that train with Commander Farsad.
That can't be possible. Everyone on the train was said to have died. There was an attack.
I was there. I saw the attack. I survived it. I fell through rooftops, as you can see. Yeah, sure, like wherever, like
you look
ripped
like shit.
ripped and teared and stuff like that. I fell through the roof, and Farsad and my companions went on without me, assuming me dead, and by all rights I should be. But I stand here before you now because I wish to be reunited with Commander Farsad. We had urgent business dealing with these matters, these horrors that are being wrought upon the city.
Make a.
I have information for him.
Yeah, make a persuade check.
Okay. 20.
Okay. All right. So she looks at the other guards that are there, and she nods. And you have weapons on you, right?
I do.
Okay. She says, I'll take you to the commander. I believe that he's in, but you'll have to leave those at the door. Come on. And she kind of takes your sleeve, like it's like this way.
Very well.
And so the two of you are walking. She takes you inside. If you are willing to relinquish your weapons, she takes them from you. If you have anything you'd like to hide on you, if you have like a dagger or something you want to hide, you can attempt that. Otherwise,
It seems like you want me to do this, Adam. Why are you?
No, I'm offering you the opportunity to do it now, so that later, when you're like, "Oh, I totally would have snuck a sword in here,"
Right.
We've covered this.
No, I don't want to attempt to sneak anything in. I just want this to go smoothly.
Okay, all right. So they take your weapons. She does so apologetically. She says, "I know that these are dangerous times, but we can't have unauthorized equipment in it." And so she brings you in. And as she's walking,
hold on, real quick.
Yeah.
I just want to is she attractive? It's a flaw,
yeah,
man. I gotta know.
Yeah. I mean, do you find cops sexy?
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, you're a sucker for a woman in uniform.
Fuck yeah,
okay.
strong-willed, take care of herself, might whoop my ass. That's a turn on for sure.
Okay, all right. You don't mind that she's a tool of the man?
I don't give a fuck about that.
All right, that's
Hey,
cool.
everybody got to make a living.
Okay, all right. Then yeah, probably. I think that she's a plainish looking girl. She's approximately your age. The uniform does something for you though. It adds, gives her a point or two. Yeah.
And all I'm doing is socking this away for later, just in case. So I just thank you for your help. It has been a long day, as I'm sure it has been for several days for you. My name is Kalimat. What is your name?
Kind of looks at you I didn't realize this was going to become a conversation. make a charisma saving throw because she doesn't really have time for this shit. However,
16.
she'll make time for this shit.
She'll make time for this shit.
Yeah. So she says to you, as you're walking, she says, Najat, Sergeant Najat, and she stops to like shake your hand.
And I does she like shake, just a shake, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I shake her hand. Very nice,
By way of
friendly.
introduction.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your help. I appreciate it more than you know.
Are you a citizen of the city?
I'm a citizen of many cities. I'm a traveler. I have seen things, and that's the primary reason why I need to talk to Farsad. It's because I have information that he wants, and possibly the Immortals want.
And she squints when you say the Immortals. Like, again, this is that thing where you've shown up and been like, I need to see the commander. I have a message for the president. It's urgent. And she's like, I don't even know you, and you look like garbage. You look like a hobo right now.
No, and I noticed that, and I say, I know how that may sound. Trust me. It is not something that I said. It is something that he said. I told him that I have information, and he hurried me inside, and he said that they would want to know. I just wanted to give it to him.
This is all above my pay grade. You can talk to the commander. Strange times. And she leads you to the back, and you start to like you've been in Farsad's office before. Did you ever get here? I can't remember.
But did we check in here when we got here, or did we go?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, these places all kind of look the same. No, you know what? It wasn't you. You haven't been in here before. It was the other guys. It was them. So, yeah. So she takes you through these Spartan hallways and takes you back to a set of doors. And she pushes the door open and she looks at you and she gives you the like 1 second. And she looks inside and she's like, "Commander." And you hear a grumpy voice from the side, like, "What is it?" And she says, "I have a Kalimat," and she like looks at you.
That's right.
Like for confirmation, you nod. She says, a Kalimat Al-Fida here to see you. Says it's important. Something about the train." And you hear the scrape of a chair legs against stone. And she turns to look at you, and she mouths the words "good luck," and then turns and leaves. And the door opens.
Oh, and just before she goes, like as she was leading me, and I was kind of like preparing, like I got on my deck of cards, and I grab the strength card, and I pull it out, and I just kind of have it like this, and I press it into her hand, and I say, "Stay, stay as strong as you can. There are rough times ahead."
And she takes it and looks at it for a second and then looks at you. And then we hear Farsad be like, you've got some nerve. And then she like turns so that Farsad doesn't attend to her. And they leave. I just imagine later her like looking at the card and it's like got your phone number and a picture of a dick on it. For a good time. Kalimat. But no, so she takes it and yeah, she'll definitely remember this interaction with you. And yeah, we hear Farsad be like, "You," and we stay on her face. We see you in the background, probably as you enter the office. So meanwhile, Selihafa, Ramus, and the mysterious peasant girl, the three of you are working your way through the city towards the citadel. Is that the plan?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. All right. So I think that you've made your way through town, and a lot of it, like I think we see a shot of like how are you moving? How are you keeping the girl moving? Because she is like, imagine if you went to like the middle of like rural India and you took a kid from a village there, and then you were like, "Yo, New York City, have fun." She is stopping and staring at everything. Like, it's like, "Hey, a dwarf. Hey, another dwarf. Hey, look, a half orc." And just like staring, just like, and you have to keep pulling her along. So who's responsible for men?
Is there an orphanage nearby, Adam?
I mean, yeah, there. Sure, you could pass through the like temple district and find an orphanage. Sure.
Do you suggest that, Ramus?
Yeah, I suggest it to you, Sally. We could drop her off at the temples. They would gladly take her in. Maybe make her a monk.
It sounds okay to me, but Berg might not like it.
She almost got us killed.
We've all almost gotten each other killed.
Well, she's the most recent.
I consider it if only for a brief second. We'll do our best. She doesn't seem afraid of us anymore.
And so the two of you, as you're talking, you realize you've kind of like lost track of her, and you turn to look, and she's standing like half a block back, and she's just staring up at an elephant that is standing there, just like eating some grass out of a big barrel. And the elephant's just kind of like staring at her, and she's staring up at it, and is like just hasn't even noticed that you've wandered off.
I'm getting tired of this thing we have to take with us. I want it gone, and I want it gone soon.
Ramus, do you want to know a secret?
I love secrets.
I reach into my bag and pull out the bracer and the rod.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to be so mad at you.
It is not. I'm trying.
Oh, I can't wait for him to see it.
No,
I'm not gonna tell him,
you
though.
you must not tell him.
I'm not going to tell him. I want him to discover it.
I'm doing it for him. I want to be able to make this unlock them on to all of them, so that if we run up on another one or find another one, we can free him.
What a
gift.
What a good prank. Let's put it on him in his sleep. It'll be funny.
But I'm not against putting it on her now.
You you think he's mad that you have one? Yeah, you do that, and you see what happens. It's not going to be pretty. That is his trigger.
I put it back in my bag. Well, go collect her then. I don't know what to do.
God damn it. All right, come with me. I need you to, like, make something magical that she would want to grab onto and have it run towards the fortress. Something shiny and pretty. How about a pony?
I snap my fingers and cast prestidigitation and make a sparkle effect in the shape of a pony occur.
Yeah.
Child, look at the thingy. Go embrace it.
We're the worst parents, and I make it happen again.
Yeah, and she's still just staring up at this elephant, like.
I change it into the shape of an
Blinking.
elephant. Yeah.
She's just like reaches up to the elephant and like touches its leg, and it's just like brrr, just like makes kind of an annoyed noise and like pulls away from her. She's still far away. Like if you want to go over and like talk to her, you can, or like try to.
I say, Ramus, I don't believe she's ever seen an elephant before. It's going to be quite hard to top that. I start walking over towards her.
All right.
Yeah. So when you walk over, she sees you. She notices movement and she looks over and she starts just babbling and pointing at the elephant. She seems really excited, but like there's an imperative, like she wants to do something, or like, and she's just pointing at the elephant, like, did you see this? Look at this thing. Check it out. It's an elephant, basically. Like she's really excited about it.
Can you make a little elephant?
I'd make a little elephant.
Make it pink.
It changes to pink.
And you're doing this with like minor illusion?
Minor illusion, yeah, and malleable illusion.
Okay.
Hey, look at this over here. Another one.
Let's see. What's the DC on the illusion?
It's literally 15.
Okay. She looks at it and looks at you like, and then looks at the elephant again, and she like throws her arms as far as she can around its foot, and it kind of like moves a little bit, but just ignores her and just keeps like chewing on.
Is there
and she's just like hugging it, like.
Is there like an
smiling.
owner that or someone that's tending to this elephant?
Yeah. There's a man, a shirtless man with a pot belly sitting on a stool near the elephant's, like up near the elephant's head, smoking a little like hand rolled like tobacco cigarette, and he looks at you, like leans over and sees the kid like holding onto the elephant.
Is this elephant for sale, sir?
And he squints, and he says, "Could be."
Well, how much?
Like looks at it. 500 pieces of gold.
Ramus, give me the bag. I just kind of like.
Not in the middle of the street, surrounded by lovely people that could see that happening. How about let's not do that?
You're right.
I'm enjoying freedom. I want to keep that freedom.
I just like grab the girl's arm and try to drag her off.
Okay. So she like tries to squirm free. Yeah, how forceful are you being? Are you just like, come on, or do you want to actually make a roll?
I'll make a roll.
Okay. So the number to beat, she's not very strong. She's a little kid. But damn, the number to beat is 17.
Jesus.
This fucking child is a prodigy.
She's a god. Make an athletics check to try to pry her away.
Oh my god. Are you giving me
You
guidance?
know, in her previous life, she used to be a pretty formidable opponent, so
Yeah,
it's not
you're not
entirely
wrong.
surprising that.
Ramus, are you giving me guidance?
Yes, you can have guidance.
This
It's
so
not
good.
gonna
I love-
matter. It fails.
Not gonna
Love
help.
Mom and Dad, Sully and Ramus. So here's what happens. You go to pick her up, and she's holding onto his legs so hard that you just end up with her legs. And she's just like trying to hold on to this elephant. And she's just like laid out, and you're like, come here. Let's try to pull her off of the elephant's leg.
Yeah, I let go. What if she got lost, Ramus? What if we just tell Berg
I'm
got
done.
lost?
I am done with her.
When you let her go, she like kind of collects herself, and then she looks up at the elephant and she claps really loud and like as hard as she can. And the elephant like turns its head and looks, and then she bows, stands up, and she claps twice again. And then she like kneels down and she like puts her hands to her head and she's like mumbling something in peasant. She looks like she's praying to the elephant.
That's right. Peasants worship the elephants. They find them sacred.
I'll cast. How can I make it like? I'll cast Prestidigitation and create a non-magical trinket of a little elephant and place it in her hands as she's praying.
Okay, yeah. So she like keeps her eyes closed and she like lifts her head up and then you make it appear in her hand. How long does Prestidigitation last?
1 hour.
Okay. So she looks at it and her eyes go wide and she looks up at the elephant and like says a bunch of stuff to the elephant. And the elephant ignores her. And then she like holds the little like carved elephant toy in her hands and like looks up at you like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
Like she's ready to go.
Ramus, take the other hand. This one's strong.
We grab her hands and we rush towards the fortress.
You're like, all right, honey, time to go.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
It's Ramus and Solly, two dads and one girl, just running through the streets as fast as possible because Kalimat needs to take care of this child, or we're gonna bag her. She's going in the bag.
Turtle dad, cleric dad.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you bring her you bring her back to the castle, and I think what happens is that we end up with the three of you, Sully, Ramus, and Berg, sitting on a bench in the Citadel. I guess Berg, you probably get there first. You're headed there, right? That's where you want to go?
Yeah, that's where Berg would head up to.
Okay. All right. So Berg, you're there first, and so we see Berg on the bench. And then Sully and Ramus, you get led in by some Aharisa, and then they sit you down, and then the girl, and the four of you just sitting on this bench outside of outside the office of Commander Farsad, where inside Kalimat, you have been talking to Farsad for a while. He's been grilling you about everything that's been happening, like what's been going on, like where were you? What the hell is happening? So how much do you tell him? We don't have to like RP the whole conversation, but I think he's been like basically interrogating you for the better part of an hour.
Okay. Well, I tell him what we've seen. I tell him about about the Farang. Tell him that we were there during the explosion. We saw what happened. Like, we took one down and it exploded later, and there was nothing we could do to stop it. The other two flew off. I described like all of that shit, the crystals that they put down on the ground.
And he's brought in a scribe, so someone else is like writing everything you say down.
Okay. I kind of since I kind of have the gift of gab, I hint around like the temple of the temple of the tower to gauge his like emotions about it, to see if I said that we did something in service of the temple of the tower, would he be pissed off about that?
Okay, make an insight check.
Since there are it's in the city.
Oh yeah, it's not
You
illegal.
wouldn't
Like
think they would let it there, yeah. All right, insight. Okay, 20. Ooh, pretty good.
All right. So the impression you get from like talking to him and telling him your story, engaging his emotions, because this is a thing I think that Kalimat is good at, right? Like running your mouth, but also while you're doing it, like seeing what people say. Like when does he nod? When does he scowl? Reading his body language. Yeah, any mention of the tower annoys, or at least annoys him. He doesn't like hearing about it. He doesn't like that word. Obviously, like they're fighting the tower, and they should all be on the same side. And he's frustrated by any mention of it.
Okay, so I get the impression that he wants the tower and the immortals to work together to oust the Harang or Farang.
No, I think you get the impression that what he feels is the Aharisa could do their job a lot better in fighting the Farang if the fucking tower would just back off and stop trying to burn the city down, right? Like, the true enemy is the Farang, the tower are misguided idiots, and he's sick of having to fight both of them at once. It's not that they should team up, it's that he's like, here's public enemy number 1, and then you're public enemy number 2, the tower.
Okay.
But also, the tower is like, he's not one of those people who's uncertain about it, right? He's sure, he's definitely 100% on the immortal side, like save the city. That's the jam. So you kind of realize not to push too hard in insinuating that you're working with them or part of that.
Okay, and then I push the other way, telling like about the immortals, and I feel more free telling them that like Salihafa and Ramus, the people I was traveling with, they actually spoke to the page of
it's just the page. It'd be the page of the city, because these guys, they technically, the immortals rule both the city of brass and the entire court of wands. So I guess technically he's the page of wands.
Okay, wands. Okay. But yeah, I tell them like they actually received like a face-to-face as much as that can be done with the page, and they were told to go there, and we met them, we saw them there, and we defeated these things together in the best way that we could, and that kind of thing. And now we're here, and as you can see, we're like, I'm broken and just fucking exhausted and smelly and terrible, and like everything is bad right now. And you can tell the page that if they runs up the chain like that.
Okay, and you get a real good roll on your insight check. Like you get a 20 with a bonus of 1, and so you say that, you're like, you can tell the page that he doesn't get like private audiences with the page. Like that's just not a thing that he's given. So like he might be like, fine, I will, but he can't. He's not allowed. That's not how the chain of command works, and it irks him that you got to see the page, like you and your friends got to see the page, and he didn't. So that's another angle in on him. And I think that he says, I'm going to send out some hunters to find your friends. And when I do, we're all going to have a nice, and he's like getting up to to walk out as he says this, and he pushes the door open. He says, and as soon as I find them, and he looks outside, and the 4 of you are sitting on the bench, he looks back at you, and he sighs frustratedly. And I think that's probably the end of the episode, right? Is it like I'm gonna find your friends. And when
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's the 3 of us basically on the last life, and the kid's probably just sitting there like running around in circles. Just running around in a circle.
Yeah, right. She runs by screaming like, yeah.
Yeah, and runs into the room.
Y'all are just like, you've obviously all had the worst day independently, and now you're in the police station, and your kid is being shitty, and we just see like the hallway and see all of you just kind of looking like, ugh, today sucks.
And I recognize that scream, and I come running out, and I'm just so happy that she's alive.
Yeah, totally. You just see her run screaming past you.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's do goals, because we're at the end of the episode. So let's hand out some XP, and then we can change goals if anybody wants to, and plan for the next one.
Cool.
So, Berg.
I think the only thing that you could even potentially give me XP for was ensure safety of child, but
yeah, I don't think she's like
now.
safe. She's not safe yet, but you did work towards it. What level are you? You're 8 now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 400 experience. We're working on, but not accomplishing your goal. Do you want to change any of your goals? Or do you want to keep them as is?
I'll think about them and I'll have something. I know you like to do it now, but for now we'll keep it as is.
Okay, all right. Ramus.
Didn't you have a gold
Any of yours?
for a shield or something, Max? Or did you replace that?
No, he was thinking about gearing up, but
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about having that as one, but
it wouldn't have been
Gotcha.
worth that much more
I
anyway.
ensured safety of child instead, just because it made more sense narratively and it was,
Gotcha. Sorry to
a little
interrupt.
more
Still get the
spicy.
XP for working on it. Ramus, did you work on or achieve any of your goals?
I don't think I had a chance.
Okay.
None of them.
Sully.
Make the Immortals and Tower work together against the Fraying. I'd like presented the idea to the group, perhaps.
Yeah, you worked on it for sure. Yeah, I mean, because you were trying to get back to a place where you could do that. So you are level 6 now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 300 experience for you.
I didn't explicitly state that I was trying to understand any of the spells that Ramus cast, but I guess we can. That one's not really any progression.
Yeah.
There was
I don't
no
think
studying of the rod, but I presented to the Ramus, so no progression.
Yeah, there was a lot of running away in this episode, so you'll need some downtime
Yeah.
for some of those.
How much XP was the first one worth? You said.
You got 300
Okay, cool.
for working towards, but not accomplishing it. And then Halimad.
The only one that I made progress on was learn the importance of the strange child, and
Yep.
I'm doing my best to befriend her and
I saw that throughout the episode. You're getting close to her, so you can figure out what her deal is. Okay, so and you're level 6 now.
Yep.
Okay, so 300 for you as well.
Perfect.
Cool. I like that y'all spent the entire episode at level 1 or 1 hit point. That was really good, and you survived like several potential combat encounters. I liked how Max, when you were in there with the dwarf, people were like, "It's just a dwarf. Why is Max worried about getting in a fight with him?" And I was like, "Because this guy could kill you in 1 hit, even though you're
Yeah.
not tough."
Yeah.
Like a
Like
house
I
cat
have the
in
appearance
your
of
ass.
maybe being tough, but he also knows I'm in the shittiest condition I've ever been in the entirety of the show.
Yeah.
Yes, you were literally
I
at
think
the
you will
bottom
realize
of your
that.
heart.
Like Berg is not fighting fit right now. He's big, but he's like a stiff breeze would have knocked Berg over had.
Yep.
You kind of have to like strike before anyone else does, and then run. Right?
Yeah.
Hit and run, because otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, you basically told me I have an edge on him. I'm like, that's all I need. Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I like the idea of narratively like showing some of your abilities, like your instincts. And this is true for everybody. I love the idea of the like danger sense or your instincts like coming in as non-mechanical like stuff about the world. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Also, if anybody doesn't have inspiration, go ahead and mark it. You are all doing the thing you're supposed to do when you play role.
Cool. All right, well,
Two-thirds of the
let's
name of the
do
game.
some shout outs. We'll go record that Patreon episode.
Yeah.
Zeke, why don't you start off for us?
I'd love to. I'm still gandering at these bard spells because it's so hard to fucking choose when you only have so many to choose from. Only so many that you can have.
Yep.
Thank you everybody for tuning in today. God, always a blast. Always so much fun to do this. Thank you to Dan, Max, JP, Adam, and I mean, you saw the rolls today, man. The dice are so much better. The dice treat me so much better. The real dice. But every once in a while, you roll some good. So, anyways, Ezekiel _I on everything, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. If you want to follow any of those, I would appreciate it. I will be back on tomorrow at noon Pacific, and we'll be playing some more Yakuza 0 tomorrow at noon. So hopefully you see there because Drop Frames is canceled. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. There's no. I got to pack.
Yes. Drop Frames is canceled tomorrow because JP is fucking in the middle of moving. So I'll be playing video games like I.
Nice. I'm jealous. Gassy, do some shout outs.
What's up, GassyMexican on YouTube, Twitch, Variety Caster, and just overall goof. Fantastic playing today. This is an interesting episode. It was like babysit a child and do not die. Babysit a child and don't let your horrible circumstances and horrible roles get the better of you. But no, it was fun as always, and thanks to everybody on the show, and of course Adam running it and doing his thing. I'll be casting tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure what I'll play. Maybe we'll get into Subnautica. I don't know. It's a weird place in games, so I don't know. We'll see. But if you want to know when I go live, follow me on the Twitters. Appreciate it. And I hope you guys enjoy the show. See you guys next time. And stay tuned for the post show when it comes out on Patreon that we're going to record soon.
Good stuff. Dan, my magical partner in crime.
Magic buddy.
Magic buddy, yeah. Do some shout outs.
Hi, I'm DansGaming, /DansGaming on Twitch, variety streamer, currently playing through Kingdom Come Deliverance. I finally got over the hump where the game went from awful combat to fun.
Nice.
And, once you level up enough, they're having fun with that. I'll be doing that tomorrow. Awesome show. Can't wait till next week. It's going to be like a full week without D&D, which is going to be weird for compared to what happened last week.
Yeah.
D&D like every day.
Yeah.
All right, can't wait for next week. Bye, guys.
And last but not least, Mr. Adam Coble.
It's me. Yeah, I mean, the whole not playing D&D thing it's going to be like, you ever seen Train Spotting and the dude tries to stop doing heroin? It's going to be like that. I'm going to be lying in my bathtub shivering for a week, praying for either death or Dungeons and Dragons.
Exactly.
So hopefully I make it. We'll see. In the interim, if you want to check in on me, you can find me on Twitter at skinnyghost or twitch.tv/Adam Coble. I host all the stuff that I'm on. I'm all over the place, and you can find me there. We just concluded Nebula Jazz last night, which is the other show that I do here on itmeJP for RollPlay. And we are gearing up for a new Stars Without Number campaign. So keep your eyes open for that. We'll be giving you more information as it comes up. It just occurs to me that I'm out of practice. I got to go make that community thread. So go to community.itmeJP.com, check out the forums. I will post a Q&A thread if you have questions for me about the world, or as usual, you just want to yell at me for being the worst GM in the universe. I've given you space for that. You can go do it. I'll put that link together while we're finishing off the shoutouts.
Cool. Yeah, that's going to do it. We should be back next Tuesday. It just depends on how fast I can actually get my entire stream set up. Because I get there tomorrow. I get there on Monday at like 6. The show goes live around 5. So maybe we'll see.
Don't kill yourself. I mean, we've done a lot of show, thankfully, leading up to this, so it's not like a whole,
Yeah, it might be the case that we try to push it to Thursday or something, but we'll see. I'll let you guys know, and I'll let everyone else know on Twitter.
Cool.
So that'll do it for the show. We're going to record that Patreon video, patreon.com/roleplay. We've had a lot of new patrons over the weekend, I assume with the live show, so thanks, everyone. Make sure to go watch that Patreon video later tonight, and MP3s will be up before I start taking the PC stuff apart as well. So that's it. We'll see you next week, probably Tuesday, maybe Thursday, but we're out till then. Bye-bye.